What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of Beyond the Gates. This was a damn good episode, let me tell you. This shit, this was good. This whole week of show has been great for me. But this episode, it was a doozy. Let me tell you. I am so over Martin at this point. The way he ignored Smitty. Like, Smitty wanted to continue their conversation from the night before. See, this is that shit I'm talking about. This is why Smitty can't let up on him, because when Martin was like, "Oh, can we talk about this in the morning?" I knew they weren't going to continue that conversation, because that's what Martin does. Every time the conversation gets heavy, he don't want to talk about it, and he find ways not to talk about it. Smitty wanted to talk. Martin sitting on the phone pretending to have a phone conversation. Smitty just standing there like, "Are you serious? Like, I'm trying to talk to you and you sitting over here on the phone." Like, this man literally faked a phone call so he wouldn't have to talk to Smitty about what's going on. Smitty just walked away. Smitty, you need to walk to your nearest divorce attorney and make this official, because the disrespect in this marriage is very real. Very real. And I like Smitty, and I can't tolerate this. Because I've been asking this since the show started. And I've been wondering, when is Smitty gonna hit his breaking point with this man? Like, when is he, what is his ceiling? You know what I'm saying? Like, when are you gonna hit the ceiling? Like, he needs to crash out on him. Because the disrespect in this marriage has been crazy. Like, to sit there and blatantly... You know what? I want to ask y'all this question. For those of you who are married, and those of you, if you were married, would you, what is your tolerance in your marriage? Like, how long would you stay if you were in this type of marriage that Smitty and Martin are in, and you know your spouse is hiding something, and you ask point blank period what's going on, and they avoid the topic, or they just shut down the conversation period, don't want to talk to you, or they lie in your face and you know they're lying? Like, what is your breaking point? Like, would you walk away? Like, what would you do? Because for me, I'm walking the fuck out at that point. Like, if I know you're hiding something and I'm asking you every chance I get what the fuck is going on, and you still sit in my face and lie and play in my face, I can't be married to you. I just can't. Because if you lying about this, ain't no telling what you lying about. Ain't no telling. Like, Smitty, he need to walk away from this shit. So Samantha come down, and of course Martin want to know where she going, what she doing, who she doing it with. And she's just annoyed by all of this, because she feel like she can't be a prisoner in her own home. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't be outside with her friends, can't hang out. You know, she was like, "Oh, what you gonna do? Keep us locked in the house until we 30? I mean, you do kind of look like you pushing 30, but she do. That girl do not look like no 15, 16-year-old girl. I'm sorry, she don't. I don't even know what the actress' real age is. Like, she do like she pushing, like she in her 20s, like mid to late 20s. She definitely do. But I get where she coming from. You know, I get it. Like, you don't want to feel like no prisoner in your home because your father don't want to tell you what's going on. But see, this is what happened when you shelter your kids, and I'm gonna get on that more in a minute. But Malone come over, and he know about what happened with Tyrell and Kenneth and stuff like that. He was like, you know, that shit ain't gonna happen again. He basically telling Martin to just let them handle it. Like, him, Vernon, Bill, let all of them take care of this shit. That would be a fool's move on Martin's part, because I feel like they had their chances to fix this, and it's getting worse and worse. Like, the OGs had their time, and they haven't done anything to get rid of this man. Like, he keeps coming back, and it keeps getting worse. Now he's targeting Martin's children, and that's a big no-no. He's way over the line at this point. But, you know, Martin was like, "Listen, I need police protection. I'm willing to pay out of my pocket for it. I need police protection. I don't want the family to know about it." He should have known they was going to find out. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about police protection. Like, have you forgotten that Jacob is a detective? Like, you thought Jacob wasn't going to find out about that? Like, there's no way of being discreet about that. Speaking of Jacob, because he was at Orphe Jeans or whatever, you know, Cat all up in his grill about the Leslie case. And he told her basically that they have the proof that it's the same helmet that Leslie was wearing. It got the same scratch mark on it, but the problem is they can't prove that she wore that helmet that night. You know, they don't have actual proof that she wore the helmet at the exact moment that Laura was attacked. I mean, I get it that Kat has to be patient and stuff because the law is a very tricky thing. Like, justice is tricky. You know, the justice system is very tricky. But I get her frustration because they keep coming up with all this evidence, even though it's all considered circumstantial, but still it's like, damn, none of this is enough to lock this crazy hoe up. I get her frustration. I would be very frustrated too. Like, damn, all of this investigating and collecting evidence and eyewitnesses and all this, that, and the third, and y'all don't have nothing to lock her up with. I would be pissed too if I was her. I would be totally pissed. Like, that's just ridiculous at this point. It really is. But Jacob basically just letting her know, like, listen, you just need to be a little bit more patient. You need to calm down. Let me take care of this or whatever, and we'll find something. But I doubt it. She's getting frustrated. So Smitty come up in there, and they talking about the situation. Jacob pretty much let him know Martin need to get a lawyer. I felt like that was a little presumptuous because I'm like, you know, not presumptuous in a way, but it was a little, what's the word? Premature. That's what I'm looking for. It's a little premature to say he need a lawyer when you ain't got no evidence of wrongdoing on his part. And you're already suggesting that Martin need a lawyer up. You have no evidence that he did anything. You just have a bunch of circumstantial pieces. Y'all don't even know what exactly happened 2 years ago. Y'all still trying to put it together. Because he basically told Smitty, like, listen, if I do get evidence of any wrongdoing and Martin committed a crime, he said, I'll have to pursue him no matter what. And Smitty asked him a legit question. He asked him a valid question. Does that same rule apply to Elon, Jacob's father? I totally agree with that question because it's easy for him to say, you know, I got to pursue justice. I have to go, you know, lock Martin up if I have to. But would you lock up your own daddy, though, if you get evidence on him? It's a valid question. But Jacob pretty much assured Smitty that, yo, if I get evidence, I'm locking my daddy up too. He's not above the law. There's no exemptions. That's what I wanted to hear, but I really hope that he sticks to that word, that he sticks to his word and he really do lock up his father if he does get credible evidence. Because it's not going to be easy to lock up any one of them if you have to. Like even Vernon, you know, just in case he gets something on Vernon too. It's going to be a shitstorm in that family when truth is revealed. It's going to be a whole media mess, PR nightmare. So Jacob gets the phone call about the police protection that Martin wanted, and he told Smitty about it. Smitty was pissed. Like, Smitty is pissed because he feels like Martin continuously lies to him, which he does. And Jacob had a valid point, though. Jacob was like, listen, you need to stop pussyfooting around with Martin, and you need to force him to tell you what the hell is going on. Get up in his grill about it. Like, I do feel like Smitty just keeps allowing Martin to get away with it. Like, every time they get into this heated conversation, Martin be like, I can't do this now. I can't talk about it now. And he lets it go. Then when you try to restart the conversation, Martin finds any excuse not to talk about it. He needs to force it. Or Martin needs to move out. One or the other. Like, he needs to separate himself. Like, if Martin is going to continue to be evasive and not talk, something got to give. Because I don't know how much more a marriage can take. Like, damn. So Martin is running around looking for Samantha or whatever. I love the outside shots they did at the park today. Oh, I loved it. Them outside shots was beautiful. It definitely gives that summertime look. I love it. Like, I love when they do outside shots during the summer. So beautiful. But she's sitting over there sitting with Kenneth. Because apparently he needs some help with something on his phone or whatever. I'm like, you know what? This is the shit I'm talking about. Tyrell and Samantha are not street smart at all. And I can't fully blame them because I have to blame Smitty and Martin for this. They sheltered those kids too much. Like, when you shelter your kids too much, when they get into the outside world, they don't know nothing. Like they're book smart, but they're not street smart, and that's not good. They need to be street smart. They ain't never heard of Stranger Danger. Like I would literally I would sit them kids down, make them watch Nightline, Dateline, Investigation Discovery, Cold Case. I make them, Cold Case Files. I make them watch all them shows, documentaries on serial killers, like disappearance type shows, kidnappings. I make them watch all that stuff because they need it. Like I don't give a damn if somebody walk up to you saying they lost a puppy. You don't go help them. You walk away. Stranger danger. That's what you do. You don't sit there sitting all close to them looking in their phone trying to fix their phone for them. You don't know him. You don't know him. No, I understand, they want to help people out and stuff like that. And that's the good in them. But you also got to be, aware of your surroundings and aware of who you're dealing with. Like, you just need to be more self-aware. Like, no. Sheltering your kids, it's a bad move. Especially in today's climate. More so now than ever. You know what I'm saying? Because this world getting wicked. Like, hell to the no. So moving on from that. So Chelsea and Madison are at Uptown. They talking and stuff like that. And I think one of the waitresses or whoever wanted an autograph or a selfie or something. Not an autograph, but probably like a selfie or something with Chelsea. So they start talking about Chelsea modeling career. And Chelsea really don't miss it too much. Like, she likes doing what she do. I'm pretty sure she got her days where she missed modeling. But, that's the past for her right now. She want to move on to bigger and better. Something is very off about Madison. Like, I like Madison, but something's off about her because she's more into talking about Chelsea than herself. Anytime Chelsea changes the subject to Madison, she'd be like, oh, what's new with you? She was like, she just avoids it. She comes up with any excuse not to really do a deep dive into herself. Talking about, oh, when you get to know me more and stuff. How the hell is she supposed to get to know you when you don't ever really talk about yourself? But she did talk about how she was a little intimidated by Anita and stuff like that. I mean, naturally, you're going to be intimidated by, the elders in somebody's family because they come off, mean. Not mean, but very strong, They come off like that. And Anita is a very, larger than life kind of figure. You know what I mean? You step into Anita's presence, you going to shake. You going to shake like a stripper. I'm telling you right now, you going to shake like a leaf. Because she gonna scare you a little bit, not because she being mean or nothing, but she's Anita. I think anybody who dates somebody, when you meet their grandparents, you meet their parents, you're nervous. You're gonna be very nervous. Been there, done that. It's nerve wracking, especially when they got this larger than life persona about them. But yeah, she doesn't talk much about herself, and Chelsea still hasn't met anybody from her side or anything like that. So I'm just wondering, like, girl, who are you? What's your background? So I'm side-eyeing her a little bit. And here come Allison. Lord. Allison fine as shit. Don't get me wrong. That girl is fine, but she is definitely not all there. Chelsea was like, are you following me? Like, seriously, turned into a little stalker. I mean, like, why do you keep popping up? And then they try to ignore her. She gonna walk up to them, gonna approach them. Girl, move around. You doing way too much. You need to go home, figure out what the hell going on with you and your husband, and figure that situation out. Move, come on now. You doing too much, Boofski. You're doing too much. A little too much now. Move around. Chelsea got her hands full with these women. I'm telling you. And people don't even realize this. When it comes down to heterosexual relationships and gay relationships or whatever, it's still the same type of mess, just with the same gender. Like, please, it's the same type of, complications. Like, even in straight relationships, you deal with some wackadoos, and in gay relationships, you deal with some wackadoos. Same mess, different gender, or same gender. Same gender, different gender. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your relationship is. Same kind of foolishness. So moving on from that, the Articulates are not getting off to a great start. Anita is pretty much over the bullshit at this point because Sharon and Tracy, their bitterness and their egos are getting in the way of something major. Like, they're really mad at Anita all because she hired a vocal coach and a choreographer and stuff like that. which is needed because they haven't performed together in decades. Naturally, you're going to need a vocal coach and a choreographer to get y'all in sync with each other again because it's been that long since you performed with each other. So, and not only that, you're older, so your voice has matured a bit. you know I don't see the problem. But of course, they bring money into it because they feel like, oh, Anita paid for the choreographer. She paid for the voice coach. So they feel like she's trying to control the situation like she did back in the day. That's how they feel. Like she trying to take control. It's not about taking control. It's about coming together. This is your first performance in forever. So Anita just wants it to come off perfect or as perfect can be. You know what I mean? Like she wants y'all to be on point. And she wants new dance moves. Like you can't perform how you performed 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like she wanted to be modern and current. She want to have a nod to the older audience that grew up with them, but also to the new audience that they can have. And Tracy and Sharon took that as, oh, you want us on on the ceiling, dancing on ceilings and twerking and all this, that, and the third. That's not what she's saying. That's not what she's saying. Anita still has her finger on the pulse when it comes to this modern music, with what's going on currently. She knows what's going on. That's why she wants to keep up. Like if you ever watched Charlie Wilson perform, from the Gap Band, it was a performance that he did at the BET Awards in 2013 when they were honoring him. That man was up there dancing. He was moving. You know what I'm saying? That's what Anita's talking about. And Charlie Wilson grew a whole new fan base when he came back out in 2005 with first name Charlie, last name Wilson. When he came out with them songs, he gained a whole new audience. So this is pretty much what Anita's trying to tell them. It's not just about catering to the older fans that, was rocking with their music back in the day. It's about gaining a whole new audience because if they do this right, it can open up all new doors for them. And not just as a group, it can open up great opportunities individually as well. But their egos is getting in the way of that. They're not seeing the bigger picture. So here they are, trying to humble her and guilt trip her by bringing up Barbara and stuff like that. I am so glad Anita said, you know what? I'm done with the shit. Anita was like, I'm so over it. She said, listen, y'all could do this shit yourselves. I don't want to do it. Y'all can still do the reunion. The reunion shows and stuff. You're just going to have to do it without me. Because Tracy ain't no better. She's sitting there co-signing Sharon's bullshit. And Anita saw right through it. She was like, because y'all want to play the victim and make me the villain. She said that's what y'all continuously do. Like, Anita has apologized to them a million times. She keeps trying to make it right. And no matter what she says or does, they're still pissy. So why continue to do this? And I was looking at Sharon. I said, oh, Sharon got a new wig. I said, okay. The money must be moneying because you got a new wig. You must got some new funding. But I was so happy Anita was walking away. Good for her. She said, y'all can get out. Y'all can go. Because Anita wasn't naive to this. She knew coming together after all these years, it wasn't going to be, peaches and cream. She knew it was going to be hard. She knew it was going to be an uphill battle. They were going to have disagreements, but she didn't think it would be this bad, like where they're not receptive to anything she's saying. Because even Sharon had to admit that what Anita was saying was true about the choreography and stuff. You need new choreography. You can't sit here and perform like how y'all performed 50, 60 years ago. Well, not 60 years ago. They ain't that old. But, like 40 plus years ago, you can't. No. You got to jazz it up. You got to have some spice to the shit. She wasn't wrong. But, of course, the egos won't allow them to see the bigger picture. It won't allow for them to see that she's right. It's not about control. They sitting there talking about, oh, you ain't the only one that knows something and that's smart. And that obviously she know what she doing. That's why she had a successful career and she's an EGOT winner. This is why. Why would you not listen to her? She's not trying to control anything. She's telling you what she know. This is why she was had a successful solo career and none of y'all did. Might want to listen, fools. Yeah, I'm glad she walked away because this ain't nothing but money for them. And I would have wrote their little asses a check and told them to take their ass back to the hood. Here you go. Here's a little check for you. Here's a little coin. I'm done. And I will go back home because she got bigger fish to fry back in Fairmount Crest. Like, you got a whole bunch of mess going on back there that need her attention. So I wouldn't even be dealing with the foolishness. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Have a great weekend. Peace.